Hi everybody, my name is Katarina Reyes and I'm an Akashic record reader as well as a energy practitioner, and I post these videos to tap into the collective energy, the collective Akashic records, in order to offer advice and guidance during high energy times, which, let's be honest, there's been a lot of energy as of lately, and honestly this whole year has had a lot of back-to-back changes for so many people, even the world as a whole, and politically in the United States in particular, as I'm here and residing in the United States. And let's just dive into it, because one of the first things is the full moon that is coming up on April 12/13th, depending on where you are in the world. The full moon is beginning a cycle that leads up to the 4 planetary alignment on April 17th. And these 4 planets are Mercury, Saturn, Venus, and Neptune. So this is going to be a very powerful 4 to 5 day period where a lot of things are moving forward. So we're leaping forward. Just 2 days ago, I believe, the 8th / the 9th was the end of Mercury in retrograde, and because of that, there's a lot of attraction. There's a lot of, let's say, grease added to the wheels, the coils of the machine we call life, because Mercury in retrograde was a lot of reflection, obstacles, stagnancy, and stillness. So during that time, a lot of things were at a standstill, and you may have had issues with money in relation to technology not working, phone calls dropping, miscommunication, people being angry over things you thought you didn't say, but maybe they interpreted it a different way. Even you may have felt more irritable or sensitive or just a little off, and that has also been because we are going through an energetic upgrade as a collective, and due to that, we have been feeling the symptoms, and people like to call them like solar flare symptoms, ascension symptoms. Some of those ascension symptoms can include headaches, high or low temperature, feeling really cold or really hot, also feeling a lot more lethargy, a lot more tiredness, and also having a hard time regulating emotions or feeling like you're doing a lot of shadow work at once. When I say shadow work, I mean things that we find ourselves challenging that are then coming at us in order for us to triumph over the challenge and to change as a person, to evolve as a person. And so with these ascension symptoms, and as the end of Mercury in retrograde has occurred, now we're in okay, things are opening up, things are expanding. I just see like the train is moving forward in your life, and to be prepared for that change, and you are already energetically aligned to receive that change. It's just the actual manifestation in the physical realm for it to occur. So in that case, how are we going to prepare for this change? And also, there may be a lot of what we had been desiring now coming into fruition. For example, if you were waiting for money and it still hasn't come, or there was a promise of it coming through, or you're trying to get more clients in your business, it's gonna happen. These next 5 days are going to be proof that more abundance is on the way for you, whether that's emotionally or physically or materially. All of those things, are connected to proof that is going to come through April 13th and April 17th. So even now, I'm like huffing and puffing for some reason, and I feel like it's just because there's a lot of energy. As soon as I tapped into this energy, I was like, wow, like there's a lot of movement in my heart. There's a lot of like almost anxiety, but not necessarily anxiety, just a lot of energy flowing through my body. And as I talk about the planetary alignment, first let's just go in order for the purpose of staying linear in this video. One is, so let's first begin. The Mercury retrograde ended. Now on April 12th/13th, the full moon will be at its full peak. And we're still in Aries, but we're soon to go into Taurus. And because of that, there's going to be a lot more earthly energy. So it's going to be a lot about, I see material, I see abundance, I see like coins. So what is it in abundance and material that you desire, or what is it that you want? And you have probably already know what you want and have already been thinking about it for months, since the beginning of this year, perhaps sometime last year. And this full moon connects with the December full moon, because December was a lot about manifestations and what is it that we wanted to call in the new year. And this is the beginning. It's like you're getting the premiere of the movie that that you star in. So now the premiere is happening, where it's like, okay, I put in my energetic wants and vibrations. I wrote down what is it that I wanted. I put out into the universe what I wanted. Now I'm going to see it, how I said earlier. So as we're going into Taurus, and as the full moon is connected to the planetary alignment, there's a lot about, I'm even feeling like a lot, even really hot. And that is also about activity. And I feel it mostly on my heart, my third eye, and my crown. Mainly these chakras. So first, the crown is all about how the power of our thoughts, the power of our emotions. And then the third eye is about our intuition, listening to our truth, and listening to the messages that we get from beyond or above, or from Creator. Then there's the heart. So the heart is about so many things: emotions, releasing emotions, feeling like we have power over our emotions, not letting our emotions take over our lives, but instead being in control of how we carry ourselves throughout the day, throughout our lives. And these three chakras are so highly activated during the full moon. And this is honestly, of all the full moons this year, this is like the most exciting full moon for so many reasons, because I think it's extra exciting when we finally see that our hard work pays off. And this is it. Your hard work is paying off, and you're going to see the fruits of your labor. And Taurus, because it's all about the ground, I see like crops, putting the fruits of our labor in a basket and rejoicing. So around this time, do something celebratory for yourself. Take yourself out to dinner, call your friend up, go out with them, do something nice for yourself, like go get a massage, do something that just brings you joy or feels like celebration. Maybe even buy yourself a little cake if that's what you want. Celebration is really going to happen during this time, and it's going to be feeling like you can breathe, that believing during a time of uncertainty is paying off for you, because you may have just told yourself, I'm just going to trust, I'm going to surrender, things are going to happen for me. Well, those things are here, and the things are going to happen. And during this time, April 12th to April 17th, let's say, it's going to be really big. And it's going to really affirm that you're on the right direction, and everything you did up until this point was exactly what you needed to do. Now, for the planetary alignment, Neptune, Saturn, Venus, and Mercury, these are some powerful planets. Venus is about relationships. Mercury can be about so many things, including the inner workings of the mind. Neptune can be about challenges in our external world, and Saturn is all about understanding how we communicate with others, and how what we bring to the table affects, or what we bring to the table does affect the people around us. So Venus, because there's a planetary alignment in all of these, I want to talk about Venus because Venus is about relationships. So your relationship with yourself, your relationship with others, and how those relationships affect how happy you are in your life, or what is it, or your life's purpose. Are the people that you're surrounded around right now, are they supportive of where you're going? Saturn, because it's about communication, are we affirming the life that we want to build? Are we are we seeing ourselves and talking about ourselves in a positive light? Such as when you're talking to somebody about, something you're building, and maybe you start saying, I'm just having so many challenges. I just don't know, why I'm doing this. I'm feeling doubtful. It's okay to be honest, but then there's a difference between honesty and negative affirmations. So when you're talking and too focused on the negative, too focused on the fact that you think this may not work out, that affirms where is it that you're going. So be aware of how you talk about where you want to be and how you want to grow. And this is also about, you may meet somebody during this time period of the April 12th to April 17th that is going to help you catalyze your future and the future you desire. Then in terms of Mercury, remember we just had Mercury in retrograde. This is also about our relationship, not only with ourselves, and as Venus is talking about relationships, but Mercury is also about the challenges and the external world. So don't give up so easily. And that is one of the things that it's going to remind you during this time is the universe is going to send you something physically so you can remember that, to stay on course, to stay focused, because there's a reason for everything. And if you're being called to set that boundary, to talk, to speak up for yourself, to make that change, to leave that relationship, there's a reason why, because there's a larger purpose for you on this earth. And then there's Neptune. Neptune is also about the mysteries of the mind. So you may be having some interesting dreams right now. You may be thinking about, and I'm going to pause here and say I'm not an astrologist, so I go mainly on energy, and I go on Akashic records, and as I channel the Akashic records, this is what I get. So I want to start by saying that I did not actively study astrology throughout my life, but I have been in tune and consistently follow up with all of the planetary alignments and know that they make such a difference in the Akashic records and the vibration of the collective as a whole. So in Neptune, you may be getting, because there's an alignment in Neptune, you may already have been getting some interesting vivid dreams about your future. I'm feeling that strongly. Then even you may have some interesting conversations regarding what's the next step for you to break free from your own limitations, and that may even be conversations with yourself. How am I holding myself back? What is it that I'm doing that's not affirming my future? Then there's also this idea in Neptune regarding exploring our challenges and use and create. And as we own our challenges, they become strengths. Because, for example, if we know that we can be really stubborn, it's like, okay, I admit I'm stubborn. I admit that sometimes it drives me to extreme places because I don't want to listen to others. And let me use that stubbornness to be stubborn in my future, in the sense of I am sticking to turning that stubbornness into determination, saying I want to constantly evolve and continue to be a better soul, a better human. And so I'm determined to do that. And if that involves listening to outside perspectives, then I shall be open to it, because I'm turning my stubbornness into determination. So that is it regarding the April 12th through the 17th energy collective guidance and reading. I hope that this offered something to you, hopefully positive, and I will see you in the next video.